No, we're live. Justin, you're on mute.
Hi, welcome everyone. Welcome to Boson Protocol's launch of our Decentraland Metaverse Toolkit. Great to see you all here. So most of you should know me. I'm Justin Bannon, co-founder of Boson Protocol. And I've got a couple of our core team members here. I'll ask them to sort of introduce themselves and talk a little bit about their background and what they're doing at Boson. First off, Misha Tuffield, who is our CTO, and also our director of product, Sukrita. So welcome both. Do you want to kick off with some intros and give us a bit of background? Misha?
Okay. Hi, I'm Misha. I'm CTO here. I head up the engineering team and try and think about what it means to build a protocol and get lots of people to use it. I have a PhD in computer science. I've been building startups since 2008 and been building things with Ethereum since 2017. Very interested and excited by the vision of building commerce without intermediaries. Sukrita?
Hi, I'm Sukrita. I'm director of product here at Boson. Prior to Boson, I spent the last decade or so in e-commerce, spent a chunk of time at Amazon doing various roles across fashion as well as B2B, and then spent last couple of years before Boson at Shopify as well.
Right. And so, we have with Misha and Sukrita this huge sort of wealth of knowledge and experience of like deep tech, computer science, and blockchain technologies, and then also all of this kind of commerce, both centralized and then this intersection between in terms of decentralized commerce. So a huge amount of the praise for the products that we're launching goes to Misha and Sukrita. Before we sort of get into the Metaverse toolkit, I really wanted to sort of just give a bit of an overview of where we are at Boson and what stage we are at in our progress. We've spent probably around about 2 years designing and then building this kind of core protocol, which we kind of refer to almost internally as like, it's like building the warp engine for the Starship, enterprise, which was a really deep R&D effort. And that launched in November, and it's like fully production grade engine for enabling decentralized commerce. So commerce, between a buyer and a seller, tokenizing physical assets, and doing this without an intermediary. And then since then, the whole sort of organization has really moved into a completely different phase, right? So, and I think you can look at tech startups in terms of, they need to do two things. One is build something useful. And, this first, this like kind of decentralized commerce protocol is absolutely fundamental to enabling, a decentralized internet and a decentralized economy. Because without it, you would never be able to do any trade for physical items without having to rely on the same old intermediaries like eBay and Amazon that we did in Web 2. So it wouldn't really be Web 3. So really fundamental. So build something useful, and we've done that. But the next equally important part is get it used. And so really there's been this phase change in Boson Protocol about building, useful products and putting them in the hands of customers and the market to drive adoption. And our focus now is just 100% get it used and adoption. And so we're here to talk to you about a major element of this. And one of these major elements is Metaverse Commerce. And so I've got my screen shared here, and I'm just going to talk through, and between us, we're going to sort of talk through the Metaverse Toolkit launch. And then we've got a demo to show you, and we're just going to sort of, share what this means for Boson and decentralized commerce in general. Okay. So as a reminder, Boson enables the tokenization, transfer, and trade of any physical asset as an NFT. So in essence, what happens is if a seller wants to sell an item, they will go take it to Boson protocol, upload a load of metadata, and create what we call an offer. That offer is then published by Boson in a variety of different domains, which we're going to discuss. And then a buyer can say, I like the terms of this offer, and can go and commit, or as we say, they go and commit to this offer, and they will receive an NFT. And that NFT is like a futures contract. The bearer of that NFT has got these like strong, credible claims on a physical asset. Either they will get the item or they get their money back. Now, if everything goes well, the happy path is followed. That's all really straightforward. The buyer redeems this NFT. I mean, they may decide to trade the NFT before they redeem it. They may decide to hold it for a while, or but like any other NFT. But eventually, a buyer will decide to redeem this NFT. At which point, they will be put in contact with the seller, and an exchange, if it's the happy path, an exchange will take place. Everyone's happy. The seller gets paid. However, if there's a problem, then what happens is the protocol then kicks in earnest, and there's this two-stage dispute process. The first one, the protocol uses some game theory to try and get the buyer and seller to agree, and they kind of agree knowing that if they can't agree, it will be escalated. And so let's say they do agree, fine, the protocol will divide the pot and maybe give some compensation to the buyer, and and then pay the seller. But if still there's no agreement, then what happens? The protocol escalates to an independent dispute resolver, and it can be either a completely decentralized resolver like a Kleros, or it could be a less decentralized but still independent resolver, which would also be more cost effective. So that's kind of a bit of an overview of the protocol. Now, the great thing about Boson is once these kind of physical assets are represented as these futures contracts, as these redeemable NFTs, you can then do with these NFTs, you can do with them whatever, all the other things you can do with NFTs. So you can sell these NFTs on a marketplace. So you can sell them on OpenSea, sell them on NFT marketplaces, flip them. So as an example, you could get an NFT, you could get an NFT for a special physical attached to some NFT collection. And you could decide, okay, I'm going to take that and immediately go and flip that. And like any other NFT, you could make a return on that. But as we're showing you today, you can also buy that NFT in a fully 3D immersive world like, Decentraland, Inverse, and also within games. So you could be playing Grand Theft Auto, and you could kind of crash into a supermarket and go into a store and buy, or whatever else, a pair of sneakers as an NFT that's redeemable. And then also we enable, these NFTs can be embedded. The ability to sell these NFTs can also be embedded within brands' websites, or we can create these kind of custom stores. So what we're here to talk about today is this kind of ability to sell physical products as NFTs within the metaverse, and specifically within Decentraland. So some of the benefits of this new builder tool is it's fully decentralized. I mean, we're talking about selling things in Web3 environments, where there are no intermediaries, where there's not big sort of platforms taking large cuts, etc. And so Boson is just a piece of technology that is just Web3 native, and just enables the buying and selling of physical items in this fully decentralized way without having to trust intermediaries. it's builder friendly, and Misha can talk a little bit more about that, in that it just enables drag and drop and the creation of commerce experiences natively within Decentraland. And it's also intuitive. I mean, we've tested the tool. We had a version 1 of it, and the whole of Boson has now been used on thousands of transactions. So it's like super intuitive and easy to use, and it's really kind of bringing metaverse commerce to the masses in that regard. As I mentioned, we've got already over 30 brands that have been selling with Boson, and that's really kind of as we come out of our kind of almost like prototype phase into our mass adoption phase now. And so, yeah, I'm going to hand over to Sukrita, who will talk us through, how we kind of create commerce experiences.
Absolutely. I think Justin alluded a little bit to this, but what we're seeing is that buyers have a lot more avenues right now to search, discover, and essentially buy products. And some of these, in my opinion, are not just merely channels, right? So we see them actually having different experiences and sort of different sort of assets and things that they can buy, and how they also immerse themselves with the community and the brands in essence. So I think one of the really important advantages that the Boson product suite offers sellers and brands is that they can sell across many different channels, and these are channels that they choose in essence, but also within a few clicks, they can be live or be present in these many channels. So for example, if it's a brand that doesn't have sort of an online store, we enable brands to actually have a commerce experience just within a few clicks. So we have a feature where a brand can sort of create a custom storefront or, a custom sort of shopping experience. And they can essentially go live within their own domain. And the tool set and the product suite that we've built is fairly intuitive. So sellers also have like a center or a portal where they can kind of manage some of their commerce operations and sort of customize and style their products, as well as make sure that they can showcase the brand as they would like. And specific to sort of the metaverse brand activation, we have like embedded decentralized commerce in essence. So you could choose to sell anywhere in Decentraland. As part of this launch, we have kiosks as well as like point of sale. So somebody could come into your metaverse land, have the experience that you've designed as a brand for them, and then take them back to your domain for essentially completing that commerce cycle or that purchase cycle in essence. And I think part of our product suite is also great that we go even beyond just that. We also enable builders who can easily build their own physical NFT marketplace using our tech stack. And in addition to that, we also have an out-of-the-box offering where brands and sellers can create phygitals or digital twins as well. So it's kind of going back to, sort of that immersive experience that buyers are now getting used to having or want to have in essence.
All right, go ahead, Misha.
So yeah, on top of that, we've built a protocol as a base layer, and then we're building these SDKs and widgets, and one of them, the one we're going to show you guys today, the DCL widget, all build upon this on the protocol. And the protocol is an unopinionated protocol with many features, one being the token gated commerce. So at the protocol level, as a seller, you can gate who can buy a specific thing off you, whether that be if you're a Web3 project, you might want to gate it on your own token. You could say, hey, here's some limited edition merch. You need to have 10,000 Boson to get your hands on it. Or you could say, I want to target a specific community. I would like to target people who hold CryptoPunks. So you could do token gating on NFTs or on ERC20s. And like Justin said, when you as a seller, you put these offers into the protocol, and this offer is a commitment by the seller to deliver a thing. What you end up getting as a buyer is a redeemable NFT. And these NFTs are like any other NFT, and they can be utilized, or can be it can use all of the existing NFT infrastructure which exists, which has come out in the last 12, 18 months or so. So for example, if you're buying a rare hoodie or a rare item, you could go and then list that on OpenSea. And by listing it on OpenSea, you're creating the secondary market. And even though we understand that this is a new behavior, we feel like there's indication from the market that people are looking at this and super excited about the idea. And finally, what's next? So we built this DCL widget, which we're going to show to you guys. Recently, there's been two big players within the game and metaverse technology, ecosystem. Unreal and Unity have both announced that they've opened up Web3 client libraries so that developers can start building interactions with blockchains, so that their users can connect wallets and interact with smart contracts. And we're super excited by this. And this will allow us to take all of the ideas and all the learnings we've made in DCL and make that available to any game developer or any metaverse developer. And a demo. Okay, I'm going to do a live demo, even though I've been told not to do a live demo. Let's have a go. I'm going to share a browser. Can I get a nod if people can see the browser? Yeah, great. So this is Decentraland. And I think within the event invite, it talks about the position. This is our world in Decentraland. This is our event space. I'm just going to run around. So Decentraland is a decentralized metaverse. And I'm going to show you some of our partners. So each one of these blocks are our kiosks. So these are little podiums which illustrate a product. This is Black Paris. These kiosks and our SDKs are entirely open source. This is the DressX stand. They're entirely open source, and they can be used by scene builders or sellers to drop them in their scenes, and by buyers to purchase items. And this is Fangang, another one of our partners. And here's our Boson merch store. Another thing to note is there's no backend involved here. So this is a client-side only, entirely open source plugin. You can find it on our GitHub. And if you have any questions about installing it, you can ask. The other thing which we're doing is we are integrating with DCL Edit, which is more of a drag and drop kind of editor for DCL. And we're super excited by that. So I'm going to buy the Boson t-shirt because I'm wearing mine and I want a new one. So I've clicked on the kiosk, and all of this data is now coming from the protocol. So this offer can also be had on any user interface. We can go to the DApp and do this too. So I'm going to proceed. This is our t-shirt. I'm going to go into first person view. It's slightly nicer. I'm going to have a look at it. I can see the full description about the shipping, about the creator. And I can pick a size, not a small anymore. And then this is for 150 Boson. You can see that there's a seller deposit of 15 Boson, so that's skin in the game by the seller to ensure that it does get sent. It's a type of buyer protection. There's a buyer cancellation penalty because there's 30 of them. Buyers face a penalty by creating and minting one of these RNFTs if they don't redeem it. And you can see this is our fair exchange policy, which kind of nicely ties together the relationship between the buyer and seller. This is being rendered on our DApp. All of this data is just embedded in the metadata of the NFT immutably. And I'm going to commit to it now. Commit being that action which the buyer takes to go, hey, I like what you got, seller. I would like a redeemable NFT for this. So now it's brought up my MetaMask. You guys should be able to see my MetaMask. Do you? Do you see the MetaMask window? No. So for the next window, I'll show you. So I've just signed something in MetaMask, and it's going to ask me to sign something else. I'm going to stop sharing and share the whole desktop. Okay. So I've signed one transaction on Polygon, and it should ask me to sign another transaction. The first transaction it made me sign was an approve. So this uses meta transactions, and we use Biconomy as a partner to deliver these. And the second one should come up now. And if not, I'm going to show you a video that's working. I'm going to do one thing now. I'm going to Polygon scan and check my wallet. Yeah, that hasn't been delivered to the network. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys a video of this just happening. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to share. I made this video about half an hour ago. Polygon's been particularly slammed today. So I'm going to share this video. And so hello, it's DressX description paid by sellers. It shows you the price. So this is 150 Boson, which at today's price is around $33. You can read a little bit about how it works. And the idea is you can commit to these offers made by sellers to get a redeemable NFT. So I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to start. You can flick through the images. There's the Boson t-shirt. You can see the full description of the t-shirt. And I'm going to commit. So you can see that there's a seller deposit of 15 Boson if they do not deliver. And there's also a buyer cancellation penalty of 50. For NFT, one of the seller's inventory goes down, hence the buyer deposit. And you can see the exchange policy here. And this is the buyer-seller agreement. And it takes you off to read a nice contractual agreement about the terms of this. I'm going to go back to DCL now. Okay, so let's purchase this thing. So I'm going to commit to it. My MetaMask has come up, and it's asking me, this is an approve signature. So given that it's an ERC20 token, I have to sign an approve. We don't do infinite approves. So the kiosk asks you to approve the exact amount. And then it asks, then you call the commit to offer method. This is the offer ID. And I'm going to sign it. So even though my MetaMask is connected to mainnet, because DCL requires you to be connected to mainnet, I just signed a meta transaction which will be executed on Polygon because the protocol is currently live on Polygon. So that's done. So you can see, you have three options now. So my wallet, which I just used to purchase this, now has a redeemable NFT for a Boson t-shirt. And there's three things you can do with that NFT. You can look at it on Polyscan. And there you go. It arrived 32 seconds ago. It's a Boson voucher. It's a redeemable voucher. You can go and list it on OpenSea if you want to trade it. Maybe if it's the last one, whichever exists, I might list it. But I've been wearing my own one, so a new one. I'm probably going to keep it and redeem it. Or you can go and redeem it. So when you redeem it, you can go to the Boson dApp and you go to exchanges. Number 407. And that's the t-shirt which I just bought. So now I need to, if this wasn't, our partners have their own custom storefronts, which that link would take you to, the redemption link. But given that this is a Boson t-shirt, it comes back to the Boson app. So now I'm going to log in to the Boson app. It's going to ask me to switch to Polygon. Switching my wallet to Polygon. And I'm going to connect with the wallet which I just used. And it's noticed that I have a redeemable NFT for this t-shirt. So I'm going to redeem it. Once again, to note, there was no backend involved in the kiosk, and this system has no backend, so this is an entirely front-end experience and a direct communications between the buyer and seller with no intermediary. So I'm going to put my name in, go away, browser, and I'm going to use the company address, so I don't put my address everywhere. This is the public company address. In Taunton, in, I guess, Dorset, Devon, I don't even know. I'm going to go with Dorset. Country, you know. And I'm going to put my work email address and a phone number. So let's say, I hope no one in Afghanistan has this phone number. And then I've submitted my personal information. I then go to initialize my chat between the buyer and seller. I sign an XMTP message, which is the protocol which we use for buyer-seller communication. It's now I'm going to send this information to the seller and burn my redeemable token, which will start the redemption process. I'm going to sign. I'm going to wait for a confirmation. And now I should be able to go to my items and see now the seller will receive a message saying that this item has been redeemed. It just takes a few seconds. There you go. Because it's a blockchain and it takes time for transactions to be processed. And if I wanted to go down disputes, I could always contact the seller. I'm conscious of time. So,
brilliant. Yeah, I mean, that looks absolutely fantastic. And once again, thanks and congratulations, Misha and Sukrita and team. And perfectly timed as well, demo. So hopefully, yeah, everyone's got a good idea of what the new widget looks like. And we'd encourage you to drop into Decentraland and purchase some items. And at the moment, we have a special reward, which is a 50% sort of reward. You get 50% of the item in Boson tokens for any item purchased. So a real kind of reason to go and use the new widget. Brilliant. Well, Misha, Sukrita, thank you so much for all the hard work and joining us for the demo. And everyone, hopefully you will hold on for our next event, which is Commerce in the Metaverse, with a sort of an all-star cast from WooCommerce, Decentraland, Publicis, and I will also be hosting. And Polygon as well. Yeah, thank you.